I'm talking about. The goings on in the Van Zels Restorations shed. So much going on. We've got it under control. It doesn't look that way, but we know what we're doing. Sort of. So, Norma. After a few days of hard graft, I've got the basics of the bodywork done, what we call the first rough-in. So what we do is we sand the epoxy for a bit of adhesion, and then swipe a layer of filler on the panel, and then blocky. And it's just quite the process. And then any low points you put a little bit more in. Overall, it's not, even at its deepest point, it's still quite thin. So, but it's actually feeling really good. So that's the key to get them nice and ripple free. Well, you know, you try and minimise it. We're not talking show cars here. You know, you got to remember these panels have had, you know, quite a bit of repair, and but overall she's pretty good. So best thing to do, I suppose a lot of people will skip the step and just put the polyester primer straight on over that, but I prefer to seal the filler with some more epoxy, and then let that sit for the curing period, which is a few days, and then we go on to the polyester. So the doors are already at the stage where they've had their body work and they've been epoxied. So while this is done, while this is curing, I'll get the doors in, block them down, and yeah, put the polyester on those. So so they're at the next sort of stage ahead, and then I'll get the when the whole thing's in polyester, I'll fit the doors onto the car, and then we sort of block it as a whole. So yeah, so that's what's happening. So many repairs, a little bit of a skim across the top there. The roof wasn't too bad. These pillars, all obviously, that's where they'd had been cut in the past and joined up, and it was quite rough all around the gutters. That's all taken care of. A few little bits and pieces. That's the thing with these dog legs, the steps. They're not a perfect fit, so you've got to do a little bit of smoothing over here and there. You can see how they've folded that over there. So we'll have that all tapped down and seam sealed. The front panel was pretty good. This corner was pretty, that was sort of one of the ugliest parts on the car when it first came here. But, you know, we can see through that straight away, knowing that it's actually pretty good. Underneath, it just needed you know, some stuff under the windscreen. So yeah, so that's going to be nice and smooth. So I don't think Norma will have been this straight since it was brand new. So just covered up the engine bay. I don't want too much spray getting in there. Better cover over the exhaust as well. We don't want any extra paint on that. We got all new tail light housings and lenses and whatever, so we're just leaving that one in. And yeah, so next round of bodywork we'll have them out. So yeah, everything's in stages. This is stage 1 of bodywork complete. I'm just doing Chili's wheels while I'm got the epoxy out. So yeah, they've all been cleaned down and scuffed up. So yeah, so this is gonna come up a treat. Inside I'm not worried about yet. You know, there's a little bit of where we had to do some grinding and stuff, a little bit of surface rust. That this will be re-sanded, re-epoxied, and then finish coated down the track. But we just do everything in stages. So this here still hasn't been repaired. I've had Andrew on something else that's really has to be quite urgent to be done. So once I've got this in epoxy, he'll actually be able to take it in, repair that, and the last bit of rust there under the pedal. So that's cool. So that's where we're at with Norma. Just a lot of hard graft. It is physical work. It is very tedious, and they say that's sort of, some people can do, you know, like the fiddly work like wiring and stuff like that, or some people like doing assembly and all that sort of thing, you know, mechanical work. But the tediousness of the job of blocking back and all that is actually, I really enjoy it, and that's, people don't, and I think you're bred into it. I don't know, like I listened to a podcast called Let's Talk Dubs. This guy in the States, you should look it up if you're into V-dubs at all and you want something different to listen to. You might not know a lot of the people, but I remember from younger years I used to get the hot VWs and VW Trends magazines, and there'd be all these well-known names at the highest peak of V-dubness. Yeah, you know, show car builders and engine builders and all this sort of thing. So anyway, where was I going with that? We was talking, yeah, anyway, podcast, Let's Talk Dubs, and now I forgot where I was going to go. Oh, yeah, that's right. Actually, the very first two of the Let's Talk Dub podcasts feature this guy, Benny Hall, something like that. Anyway, I've forgotten his name. You'll just have to look it up. And he brings that up. He talks about how there's just not everyone's wired that way. You know, the guy who hosts the show, he said, like, if someone asked me to sand something, he's good for about bloody, you know, if he's really pumped up and inspired, about 45 minutes, and then he's done. He is so done. He's like, and so many people are like that. I've met them, I've tried to work with them, and they're like just mucking around and like, oh yeah, this is okay, and too much time, it's just not for them. And I guess that's what I do. It's what I enjoy, and because when the cars come out the other end and you've got the shiny paint, a lot of people want to put that paint on, they can't wait to get it all nice and shiny, but unless you've done all this work, forget about it. So yeah, that is the plan. Yeah, that's my jam. I love it. I love, you know, tedious work, but because of the benefit at the end. So like I'd hate, having said that, I'd hate to only be doing this, just prep work, and never actually seeing a spray gun, and just never get to enjoy, you know, putting those layers of paint on. And that's what everyone sees, you know, they don't see the work that goes in beforehand. So anyway, I've been babbling on too much, so I'm going to get this epoxy on, and yeah, we will talk to you later. Oh my word, Grego's here. I just thought, I've been thinking, yeah, I made that video yesterday or day before about Norma, and here we are. So I've got it all epoxy now, and already I can feel it. It's already nice and smooth. So yeah, that's by the time we give that a bit of a sand with the DA and then put some polyester over it and re-block it, ooh, it's going to be smooth. Hey, Marley. There's a crazy bloody dog running around. It's all happening here in Grantham town. What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you, girl? Hey? Been lots of grass to eat, hasn't there? Yeah, okay, you'd be good. So that's Norma. Like I said, we're going to concentrate on getting the outside all smooth. All the doors are already epoxied, so we're going to bolt all the doors on, polyester the whole outside, and then we'll tackle the inside a little bit later. Like all the welding's been done obviously, but that will need to be yeah, just a bit smoothed over and re-epoxied, ready for top coat. But yeah, as you can tell, it's already looking straight. Yes, we still, as we discussed earlier, still got to cut a little patch out of there, but we're pretty good now. Yeah, so that's the update on Norma. You know, there's a little bit of, it's not until you get the primer on that you work out where your little bits of fine tuning needs to go with the filler. So definitely got to block that down there and get this line looking a bit nicer. Tiny few small dents there. So yeah, just little bits of detail sanding and filling. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't bloody put you straight into the light. But that's where we're at with Norma. Yeah, I just thought I'd give you an update. So keep doing the same thing over and over. So yeah, that's it, and we will stay tuned for another update soon. We're getting excited that no one will believe how good Norma's going to look. You think, oh, it's just going to be a white combi. Oh no, it's a lot more to Norma than just that. Yeah, I won't delve into it now, but it's going to be cool. Let's just say cool, man. It's going to definitely look period correct inside and out. The inside is just next level funky. It's going to be great. So the trim material and all that's been picked, and yeah, so oh, bit of bloody wire there, it's no good. So yeah, that's the update for now. And God, light flashing off, shady dark. Anyway, that's it for now, and yeah, we will see you when we see you.